Kubrat Pulev said that he was not particularly impressed with Tyson Fury's win over the weekend because, in his words, the opponent, Tom Schwarz, was very, very bad. And he emphasized this by saying it twice. As I mentioned in a separate video, Kubrat Pulev was based in Germany for much of his career, so he may have knowledge of Tom Schwarz in terms of, how good he is. Maybe he sparred him. I'm not sure. That's conjecture, but it's reasonable conjecture given the fact that he was based in Germany for so many years and Tom Schwarz is, of course, German. So he wasn't impressed by the level of opponent. He said it was poor. Dillian Whyte has been even more scathing of Tyson Fury and this Tom Schwarz fight. I'm going to quote Dillian Whyte directly here. He said, "I can't believe I stayed up to watch that joke of a fight. Tyson Fury should be ashamed of himself, running away from me and fighting these chumps. My mother would have knocked out Tom the Bum in a round. Gypsy Bum, Bum City." Those are the words of Dillian Whyte. Now, look, there are going to be people who say Tyson Fury beats Dillian Whyte all day long, and I'd be one of those people. But Dillian Whyte is a top contender. Dillian Whyte is leagues and leagues and leagues above Tom Schwarz. Dillian Whyte, from a commercial point of view, is a much bigger fight than Tom Schwarz. So if these Fury fans out here are happy for Fury to fight Schwarz and Char, then why would they not be happy for him to fight Dillian Whyte, who's got a much better track record than both of those guys and is going to bring much more money to the table? It doesn't make sense for you to be making excuses for Tyson Fury to keep on fighting low-level opposition, but to be avoiding the likes of Dillian Whyte. That doesn't make any sense. Do I think Fury beats Whyte? Yes, but that's an opinion. At the end of the day, we're talking about top contenders here. We're not talking about a pudding like Tom Schwarz. We're talking about Dillian Whyte, who's a real fighter, who's beaten real men. That's very different than predicting Tom Schwarz, Tyson Fury, which is just about the easiest prediction I've ever made in my life, that the fight would be a farce. All you needed to do was look at Schwarz versus Gashi to tell you all you needed to know about what was going to happen in the Fury fight. An absolute farce. So, Dillian Whyte is right. Tyson Fury should be ashamed of fighting somebody like a Tom Schwarz, particularly on pay-per-view. What an absolute joke. And Dillian Whyte is also correct when he says that he is fighting someone way better than Tom Schwarz in Oscar Rivas. In fact, Tyson Fury turned down the Oscar Rivas. He passed on the opportunity to fight Oscar Rivas and took on Tom Schwarz instead, a much weaker opponent. So, as much as I think Tyson Fury beats Dillian Whyte all day long, I think he boxes his ears off. Dillian Whyte is taking on better opposition than Fury's taking on. So if a guy like Whyte, who most of us don't think is as good as Fury, can fight someone like Rivas, why can't Tyson Fury fight someone of that level? Why does he have to be fighting the Schwartzes and the Manuel Charles of the world, if that is indeed who he fights later on this year? I hope it's not. I hope he fights, the Whyte Rivas winner. Or even Kubrat Pulev would be a much, much, much better fight than taking on somebody like Tom Schwarz. So I completely agree with what Dillian Whyte said there. I completely agree with what Kubrat Pulev said about the opponent being very bad. Kubrat Pulev also said that he thinks Joshua loses in the rematch to Ruiz Jr., and Pulev may well be right about that too. Time will tell. Okay? But I've done videos before where I said I think people underestimated Andy Ruiz before the AJ fight, and I think they're still underestimating him now because of his body shape. They just can't wrap their heads around the fact that this fat guy knocked out this huge 6'6" Adonis. They just can't get their heads around it. So they want to act almost as though it didn't happen or it was some kind of fluke or anomaly. No, Andy Ruiz is a very good fighter. That's why it happened. It didn't happen because it was some, lightning in a bottle type situation. It happened because Andy Ruiz is good. Yeah, he's a good fighter. Always was a good fighter. Those of us in the know And it didn't take much to be in the know. All you had to do is watch Andy Ruiz against Joseph Parker, watch his biggest wins against Joe Hanks and Tor Hamar, people like that. And you would have seen, well, this guy can actually fight. I mean, even his performance before he fought AJ against Dimitrenko. Dimitrenko was taken down with ease. Now, Dimitrenko's not, a top heavyweight at all. In fact, Dimitrenko's a guy on the same kind of level as Schwarz. That's the level Schwarz is at. He's with the Dimitrenkos of the world. So, yeah, I definitely concur with Pulev and Whyte. Gypsy King needs to step it up in his next fight. Fight somebody legit. Fight a Pulev. That's a fight that can happen. They're both on ESPN, Top Rank. And there's backstory there with Pulev beating Hughie Fury. So let's have, Tyson Fury versus Pulev. I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice of opponent for Fury because of the fact that the styles, I don't think, would gel particularly well. Pulev is not a really exciting fighter. He's a guy who fiddles his way through fights with the jab and, moving his feet in and out of range. So it would be an awkward fight to watch and probably an awkward fight to be involved in as one of the contestants. But be that as it may, it will be far more competitive than what we saw on Saturday night. We don't want more farcical spectacles like that. Not if you're a true boxing fan. Obviously, the Fury idiotic fanatics, they'll be happy to see Tyson Fury dig Butterbean up and fight him. They'd think that was the greatest thing since sliced bread. But any of us who are real boxing fans, we hold so-called world champions, lineal champions, to a higher standard than that. We expect more bang for our buck. And so we're going to be echoing the sentiments of the Kubrat Pulevs and the Dillian Whytes when it comes to our assessment of Fury's last opponent, Tom Schwarz. That was a farce. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening, I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.